Here we go. We are live. The little munch. It's Eat My Goal with Mike and Dan. We are live. It's 8:30 on a Tuesday. So that is the time that we will be live from here on in. So tune in. I can see you tuning in your zeros at the moment. So that's a good start. That's a good start. So tonight we will be talking about two games this week. Burton at home, Lincoln away. And then we'll have a little preview of the Cheltenham game at home. We'll have a little bit of chat in between as well about the squad in general. But Dan, you're going to have to kick us off because Burton at home, I'm going to confess I was being a romantic husband and romancing my wife.
Romancing the stone.
Romancing the stone. So tell us about the Burton game. What was your thoughts?
That's it.
That's it. Very articulate. Very articulate.
I thought it was all right. It was all right.
Okay.
I thought. Well, this is the thing. I thought it was the best performance for a while. Okay. But then I read a lot of comments afterwards, and people were just saying about how bad it was, and I thought, I didn't think it was that bad. But I don't quite know what Burton, what their plans were for the game. I don't quite know what they were trying to get out of the game, because they seem to just let us attack. Or try and attack. And I think they must have known what our crosses into the box were like, because that seemed to be their setup. It was just let them get crosses in, because that's what they'll do. Just let Pompey get crosses in, and as long as we've got a couple of players on Bishop, then we'll be fine. And it pretty much worked for the whole game. But yeah, Burton will really poo and just had no ambitions in the game whatsoever. They were time wasting before half time. Like there was one bit they want to throw in down by their corner flag, and I think it was Dale or someone threw it to the bloke and he just deliberately dropped it and then went and got it, and I just thought, okay, so you're playing.
You gotta love that,
yeah. But
I
don't know. It was just a typical Pompey this season, huff and puff performance. No end product, no real quality. Don't think anyone had a bad game. Hackett was quite good. I thought he looked lively. Mm-hmm. Dale was actually not too bad. He was putting some good crosses in.
Sorry, say that again. So Dale was doing what?
Dale was putting some good. Well, he put two good crosses in. I think it was.
Okay, right. So two more than his average per game.
But yeah, just the usual. Just no real. No quality. No quality in the final third again. But yeah.
So was it until obviously Scarlett and Piggott came on quite late? Was Bishop fairly isolated? So I've found quite often that he seems to be quite isolated in this one up top. Not that I don't think the two up top was working, because obviously there was no real combination at all between Scarlett and Bishop. But playing one up top, he's not big enough to hold. He doesn't seem big enough to hold the ball up, does he? And I don't think the wide forwards, if you want to call them that, Hackett and Dale or whoever else up with them, Curtis or Speedy Jacobs. None of them seem to be close enough to really feed off him, so it seems a little bit pointless playing.
You've seen that a few times this season where Bishop sort of flicks the ball on and then there's nothing in behind him. So the few times win the header.
But even nothing in, because what he tends to do is just kind of back in a little bit, doesn't he? And they either win the header or nothing really comes of it, because it comes off him and then there's no one in around him picking up the pieces. Was it pretty much the same?
Yeah, pretty much that. I had Dale was in that. Lane was in that position. Sort of just behind the that sort of cam position.
Yeah.
which
as the
I
kids
don't
would say.
understand. As the kids would say, yeah. Which I don't really understand, because that's 3 games. I think, is that 3 games now where he's played that position, and the same was with the Lincoln game at the weekend. He just he doesn't look like he enjoys it in that position for a start. Doesn't
look like his role, does it?
No. So the
doesn't
same
seem to utilise his skills or whatever his strong traits are, his pace or whatever it may well be. But still, we did have him puff. We got the goal obviously very, very late. Scarlett.
Yeah, I'm glad we did. Yeah, I'm glad we got the goal. Excuse me. I'm glad we got the goal. I think there was only one team which were trying to win the game, or who were trying to win the game, and that was Pompey. So I'm glad we did get the goal at the end, because it sort of ruined everything that Burton had done for 95 odd minutes, which was just to come here and just defend. And I mean, I think they probably had the 2 best chances before that.
I was going to say they nearly nicked one, didn't they?
They nearly nicked one in the second half, and there was one in the first half which the guy at the back post should have buried, but then he was very quick to say it was a corner. So I think he was indicating that our keeper
wasn't a horrendous miss.
But they did get the corner out of it. But I think that those were the 2 best chances of the game. McGilvery played well for them. Made a really good save. Made a really good save, didn't he? But I was glad we got the winner. I think it was deserved over the course over the 90 minutes, really. Yeah.
All right. And what did you make of Scarlett's obviously scoring? I saw a couple of comments about him being a bit dour in his lack of celebration, but at the end of the day, does that matter as long as he scores the goals? I think he got a lot of stick, didn't he, from the Plymouth game after that, where he could have put Lane in.
Yeah, he did get a lot of stick, but I'm not sure. Well, I don't. I honestly don't know. I don't know whether I take offence at him not celebrating, or whether I agree with him. Because if I put myself in his position, I'd probably think,
Raggett.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It doesn't really. If he wasn't a loanee, I'd probably be more bothered by it. But the fact is, he is a loanee. This isn't his future, is it? It's kind of a bit of a stopgap to try and get some experience for him. I don't think he's covered himself in any sort of glory during his few months that he's been with us. He don't get me wrong, he looks a decent player. I'm not knocking him. He's only a young lad, isn't he? But he seems to have that air that he's better than League One, which he may well be eventually. I don't think he necessarily is at the moment, clearly proven by his output. But still, we shall see. But it's a good win, and it's another clean sheet. So we are keeping clean sheets under JM, which is nice. What were your thoughts on the game? Anyone who's watching or listening, drop us a comment. Let us know what you thought about the game. Were you there? What did you think of the atmosphere? What do you think of Westwood getting banned yet again for the 3rd time this season?
Or anything in general. Anything
in general. If you want to comment on
your chest.
Dan's hair, something we might have said to you in the past, out of context. But anyway, so get involved. The chat is open. Let's move on to the Lincoln game. This was a corker, wasn't it? It was an absolute corker, this one. Go on, I'll let you.
No, do one. You can speak about it.
It's just a dreadful game of football, wasn't it? All round, just all round. It's
a dredge. Is that right? Is that the right word? It's a dredge. It's a trudge. Is that what's the word?
I can't. There was dross is how I described it afterwards. Dross. The last 10-15 minutes was okay. I think that where they hit the crossbar, we kind of came to life a little bit. But it was just, again, we started the game really slowly. They could have been 2-0 up, couldn't they, in the first 10 minutes, 7-8 minutes. We were then the better team for probably the most of the next 30-40 minutes or so, but not really producing anything. Probably sounds similar to the Burton game. Didn't really produce much. It was just a nothing game of football, wasn't it? It was just kind of, there's a lot of nice football around, bringing it out of defence and playing it through the midfield, playing it through the lines. There was a couple of times where Morel ran through the lines and kind of played out wide, and then just the quality of the ball was just nothing. Yeah. There was nothing in there. Morel at times, there's a couple of times, I can't remember if it was Hackett. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was Hackett. Took it round the defender, and Morel made a good run into the box, but it was there for the cutback. He just doesn't. I suppose I don't know if it's just the difference in level of quality. You see this in the Premier League, and that's a definite cutback. It doesn't matter what team you're watching. Mm-hmm. Anyone in the Premier League is pulling that back because they see that players in space on the edge of the box. But what you try to do is try and drive it into the box where you've got 2 or 3 defenders on the near post, goalkeeper, and it's like, well, it's play the easy ball. Play the easy ball. Is that just down to a lack of quality, do you think, or do you think that's just because it's so desperate to get the ball in and around the keeper? I don't know.
I think it's definitely a lack of quality. I think there seems to be loads of teams that we're playing that, with the exception of, I think we said this before, Ipswich, Plymouth, Sheffield Wednesday, maybe Derby. That there just seems to be a whole load of teams that just don't have much quality at all, and I think that's just goes back to us saying that we need a whole new starting 11, really.
Start again.
Yeah.
Start all over again. What did you think of Bishop's miss near the end?
Well, it's good to have, wasn't
it? You think when that ball drops to him? I initially thought he was offside. But obviously he wasn't. But then when it drops to him, you just think, well, he's going to score, isn't he? He's going to put it in. It's the one person you want it to fall to is Bishop. Here we go. We're going to nick a 1-0 win. 2 games in a row where we're going to get a late win, and there's just complete lack of composure, wouldn't there? Just absolutely skied into the Lincoln end, or in fact, is where the Pompey fans were, I think, wasn't it? But
But again, I think it was. I don't think anyone had a bad game. I don't think anyone particularly played bad. I thought Hackett looked lively again for much of the game. Morel played well again. He's played well since he's come back from the World Cup.
I agree. Yeah.
And who was the other one? I thought there was another player. I thought he hasn't done too bad.
Tunnicliffe, yeah.
I
thought he's been decent the last 2 or 3 games.
Yeah,
decent compared to the expectations, I think.
Well, I think if we can get an attacking midfielder in there, then with the likes of Morel and Tunnicliffe doing the dirty work, then if we can get Lowry back, that would be lovely.
He's not far away now, isn't he?
Yeah.
If you give we've been hearing that, haven't we? Been hearing that for a while. It's a shame. I thought it was a shame. I thought the game was there for the taking, really. And I think had we tried to take it a little bit earlier, then maybe we'd have got something from it. But hey ho, we didn't. So. A point is, what do you think of Raggett? I think Raggett's been taking a lot of stick lately. What do you think of him in that game?
Well, I don't think he's been any worse than he ever was he? Has he? He's not.
He's not had the best of seasons, is he?
No, he's not. He's not. But he's not the most brilliant player.
I think he's been fairly solid, hasn't he? He's been fairly solid. He just seems to be making some kind of quite key mistakes. I think he could have cost us the game against Lincoln. Made a mistake in the first half where the ball dropped behind him, or he let the ball drop in behind him, and they could have scored, but didn't, which is obviously good. But I think other than that, I thought he had a pretty solid game. But those little mistakes are the things that cost games, aren't they? So, and when you think he's one of our more experienced players, you
you
would think that he would be a bit more consistent.
But then
we've got no. Go on.
What would you do? You think that Burnett is ready to come in for Raggett?
Don't know. But if they don't think so, why would they bring him in? Because they haven't brought him in as a right back, have they? I know that was just a temporary thing because of the injuries. But
you've reminded me, Rafferty, he was very good against Burton, especially first half, and he was, I think, the reason that Dale was getting so many good crosses in, because Rafferty was pushing on and whipping some crosses in himself. And sorry, I should have said this earlier. I knew there was someone I was going to talk about. He looked very good against Burton. And I thought he looked good against Lincoln, sort of
I thought so too.
Early stages. Looked a bit tired second half, but that's understandable. But yeah, he's. I can see why people were raving about him. I think he does look. I never saw enough of him before his injury, but I can see why people like him. He looks very calm.
Yeah, and assured.
Yeah.
I heard a rumour that he's injured. I don't know if I made that up or.
Well, I know Pack's out for 6 weeks, isn't he, or something?
Yeah.
But I don't know about Rafferty. I don't know.
Maybe I just made that up. I'm not sure. So don't take it as gospel. Before we move on to talking about, because a lot of players are out of contract, so I thought we'd go through. Who do we keep? Who are we happy to go? We've had a message in the chat from a Finn Rives. Hi Finn, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on Gareth Ainsworth leaving Wycombe? Yeah, I saw that actually just before we came on air. He's gone to QPR. You were kind of touting him as our manager before JM came in, weren't you? You're a big fan of Ainsworth.
No, thanks. No, I don't want him anywhere near my club. With that.
What? With that?
With that hair and the leather jacket and the skinny jeans and the pointy shoes. No, thank you. But well, I don't know. He must do something right because he's always up there with Wycombe, isn't he? So
yeah, very little budget. QPR is a strange one, I think, going to QPR. But it's obviously
he played there for years, didn't he? So
yeah. But I mean, I suppose you've been at a club for 10 years or whatever he's been, 10, 11 years at Wycombe. Obviously, most of those as manager, a couple as a player. But it's, I suppose, he took them up to the Championship, which obviously is punching well above their kind of weight, if you like. I suppose he has done what he can do, really, isn't he? He's gone back up to a fighting level. And maybe he now sees it's time to play his guitar down at Loftus Road.
That's what I mean. There's more music studios in London for him to practice with his bands
than there is out in Buckinghamshire.
If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's extraordinary.
What, Gareth Ainsworth?
Yeah. It's exactly how you would imagine. The biggest compliment I can give him is he's as good as I would have expected him to be as a singer and guitarist. Or
maybe what we'll do is what we should have done is we should have got the clip of it. I mean, that could have been like the end credits, because we have credits because we've got such a big production team. We need the credits, but we could have had that on a little bit on the outro. That would have been a better way of saying it with the outro. But okay. Well, so Gareth Ainsworth is on his way to QPR. That could affect Wycombe. It could. I'm still. Do you know what this is? This is my thought, because we are plodding along, obviously doing okay. We're now unbeaten in 2.
You're not going to say about playoffs again, are you?
So I watched the other day. I watched the final day of when we won League 2, and obviously we were only top of the league for what, 20 minutes? Not even 20 minutes. It's like, well, it might have been 20 minutes or so. We haven't been top of the league, and we got, what was it, something like 30 odd points from the last 36 available. Now, if we go on a run like that, it's not inconceivable, is it?
No, it's
but you can say that about any one of the teams in and around us, couldn't you?
Exactly. And we just don't. It's not like every game we suddenly turn that corner and go, "Oh, what a performance that was!" If we carry on playing like that, we can make the playoffs. Every game, it's, we managed to nick a win, or that was boring.
Or if only we had Lowry playing.
Exactly. So yeah,
if only Lowry is still playing.
Just forget the playoffs. If I tell you what, if we make the playoffs,
yep,
I will get a tattoo of "Eat My Goal" on my arm.
if we make the playoffs, not if we get promoted.
No, just the playoffs. I'm that confident that we're not going to make the top 6.
Oh, okay, all right. So right, you heard it here, people. Dan, if we make the playoffs, we'll get a tattoo of the "Eat My Goal" logo live
on the podcast
on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, I'll get it on my penis and just have it eat.
Just E, you mean?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Let's move on to right. So quite a few players actually out of contract at the end of the season. Let's go through them relatively quickly and say, do we keep them or do they go? I'm going to go first up because I'm pretty confident with what you'll say here. Ogilvy is the first one up, who is out of contract at the end of the season.
Yeah, keep him. Keep him as a squad player.
Yeah, solid. Isn't
he?
I
like him anyway, but he's not been great for the last month or so, has he? But
he has. He has. You said from the very start. I remember the first game. In fact, was that against Lincoln? I can't remember the first game at Fratton Park. Might have been against Lincoln. That was a dull 0-0 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. That he'd be player of the season.
That you said at that point, he said he would be player of the season, and he's still got a shout, I think. He's had a bad 2 or 3 games, hasn't he? But on average, 2 or 3 games. Okay, Ogilvy, if you want to say in the chat what you think, Ogilvy in or out, then please let us know. Jacobs.
Jacobs. Just get rid of Jacobs now. It's too much.
Time to go. Yeah,
it's not happening, is it? It's not working.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. Robertson.
Who?
Robertson, Clark Robertson, club captain.
Yeah, no, been him off yet.
Oh, we got Ogilvy in. Yeah, okay. Someone agrees with you, Dan. Tom Herring agrees with you. Robertson, no. Robertson gone. Yeah, he's been out injured for ages as well, hasn't he? Oluwayemi.
I'd keep him. I think he's not as the first choice.
No, but I think he needs a few more years as backup, doesn't he? But he's looks okay actually. Looks a little bit nervous, I think.
He'll get there.
Yeah, I think he looks nervous, but he's a good shot stopper. Tunnicliffe.
For what he's done the last month or so, I'd keep him. Definitely, as if you've got a more attacking midfielder in there like Lowry, then I'd have Tunnicliffe there. Yeah,
and I think in worst case scenario, as a good squad player, I think he's clearly proved he is decent at this level. Thompson.
I don't understand the love.
You're not feeling the love.
Yeah.
Not feeling the Tomo love.
I've yet to see what the big deal is. And again, I think we've got better players in there in that position. I think when you've got Pat Morrell, Tunnicliffe, Lowry, all those players in that position, I think he'll be surplus to requirements. Yeah.
Thompson is moving on. Okay. And then the big will he, won't he? It's been going on for years. Is Curtis.
All depends on how he does for the rest of the season, I'd say.
Okay.
Because he's had his haircut again, hasn't he? He's got his old haircut back, which apparently is what makes him good. So, and he's done all right. He did all right before he got injured a couple of games ago. He looked like he was fired up, and he did all right on Saturday, didn't he? When he came on. So let's see. All depends which Curtis is going to be here at the end of the season.
Do you think? Here's another question. Do you think he'll want to stay? He seems pretty. I
don't think he wants to do anything, does he?
He doesn't seem like he wants to, does he?
He doesn't seem
such an angry man. Such an angry man. The moment he gets on the pitch, he's like, such an angry man. Okay, I think it's time for him. I think he'll go, but I think he'll go by his own choice. I think he won't get the level of that he could have got maybe 18 months, 2 years ago, like the Blackburns and stuff like that.
No,
but he may go to like a Hibernian or a Hearts or someone.
Yeah,
in Scotland, or maybe
million, weren't they? Season and a half ago.
Yeah, I can't see. But I suppose on the plus side, he is only about 26, I think. So he's still got some legs in him, isn't he? And if he gets a decent coach, you never know. He could.
Look at all the chat comments, Mike.
I know. Robertson out. Oluway, well done for writing that correctly. In, but going out on loan, and Jacobs out. Pretty much agreeing with everything that we've said, I think. Good. I like a nice chat. Although it's good to have a debate as well, isn't it? Right. That almost comes to the end of our first half hour, which is our Pompey half hour. But we will quickly wrap up with a review of Cheltenham Town this weekend. Cheltenham's last home game. Do you know how they got on in their last home game? Bearing in mind they're at Fratton Park.
I don't know. Lost 4-0.
Was that just off the top of your head?
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost 4-0. They lost 4-0 to Barnsley, yeah. They lost 4-0. So that's bound to be a 0-0 draw at Fratton Park this weekend then.
Yeah.
Cheltenham Town going well. 4-0 home defeat against Barnsley. What's that?
Yeah, I thought you said they were going well, but you were being sarcastic, were you?
Yeah.
Where are they? Where are they? I only know the top.
Do you know what? I knew you were going to ask me this, and I did have it, but now I haven't got it. So I'm going to quickly look for it.
So you carry on talking. I'll find it. Right here, I've got it here. They are 19th.
Oh, okay. So
they're nine points behind Pompey. Blimey.
This should be the game then that kicks us on, shouldn't it?
Well, yeah.
Kickstarts the run.
Yeah, whatever. Well, we said 3-0 against Burton, didn't we? And we said this would be the one where it's going to be a really good performance. So we'll say the same for the Cheltenham game, shall we?
What, 3-0?
3-0, really good performance. Attack. Lowry's suddenly coming back 5 minutes before kick-off.
All right. Yeah, good. I like it. I'm going to go the same. 3-0. Comfortable win. We're going to score early. First 20 minutes, we're going to score. Coast for a while. Add a couple more in the second half. That's what I think.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Positive weekend then. Positive weekend. Right. So if you're going to stay with us in a few minutes, we're going to be on the second part of Eat My Goal, which is about the top flight Premier League football. But this is it for the Portsmouth episode 31, Dan. 31 episodes. How about that, eh? We are live every Tuesday night from 8:30, where we chat about Portsmouth, and from 9 o'clock, where we talk about the Premier League. So if you want to get involved, join us on a Tuesday at 8:30. But that has been Eat My Goal Pompey for now. See you later.